Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. I have a layout for Scrap a Sketch, or excuse me, Follow a Sketch February 24, and this is day 3. This was actually the first layout that I created, but I have been behind on getting my voiceovers done, so I will actually, not sure what order these will be posted, but this one is for the sketch from day 3. And I used several collections from 49 and Market to create this. So I believe that I had cut a cut file from that base page that is matting my entire layout, and so I decided I didn't want it to go to waste, so I used it as my matting for my darker blue background. And then here I am using another scrap that I had, likely from, actually I'm not even sure what collection that was from. I believe it might have been from the first year, might be from Serenity, it might be from last year's follow-up collection, I believe, was Tranquility. I know I have a lot of those two, and then I believe some items from the most recent one, Midnight Garden, I believe, or Moonlit Garden. And so here, this is documenting the birth of my grandson, Cody Dale, and I'm just kind of planning things out. And here I decided I needed to add a darker color, and this one is actually, ironically, from the Viking, which was the purple, for one of the first purple collections that 49 and Market had. But this page had this fantastic dark blue on the backside, and it just it helped the pictures pop off of these lighter colors that is on the rest of the page. So there I'm matting it with those darker colors, and here I am trimming down the page that's going to be the main part of my background, trimming my pictures, and then I'm going to start working on all the layers around my pictures. And in the sketch, if you take a look at it, there were several items on the edges that look like doilies, and maybe some ribbon or lace on the side. And so I decided, well, I picked this lighter colored blue just to so I could use some of the rub-ons in the back around that main photo matting area of my 3 pictures and this title area. And so here I'm just kind of auditioning a lot of the layers and how I want to use them. And these doily matte pieces from 49 and Market were just kind of the perfect look that I wanted to use, and it worked out good with this sketch as well that had those areas on the corners. And so I've kind of got that idea in place. And then I kind of take a break from the layers and decide to work on my title, that I liked that hello, and so I decided to make my title Hello World. And I had some white letter stickers that were actually like a fabric, and you could use mixed media on them to make whatever color you wanted. And so I did mix Uncharted Mariner, and I believe it was, what color was it? Iced Spruce, to kind of come up with the similar color of the hello. And so here I am just picking out some different rub-ons to start going around the side. And what I was putting on before and kind of showed quickly as I was talking about my title is I struggle with using the butterfly rub-ons in all of these 49 and Market collections. And so what I decided to do with the rub-ons that I had for, I believe this was from Eucalyptus, I just cut a few of the butterflies in half, and really I'm just kind of using it as more of a rounded texture than a butterfly. And once everything was on and my embellishment block or picture block is over the top, you can't even tell that they were butterflies. So you can tell on the right side there, just under the top doily, that was a butterfly. And then at the top left, right there where I'm working, that was a half a butterfly. And then I believe I have another one down by that tab as well. So there were several of them on here that you would never know that they were actually butterflies. So if you're like me and struggle using certain types of shapes or designs in some of your favorite collections, that just remember you don't always have to use them as is. And so here I decided I had some border rub-ons, and I chose different spots on all four sides just to add some texture to that outside matting area. And most of them were, actually I think they all had that diagonal stripe on it, and it was just looked a little on the distressed side. So here I am. I did decide to put my picture block down on the page with my liquid glue, and now I'm going to work on the title area. So I did use some of my foam adhesive on that to pop up the hello word, and then the world, that will just go straight on the page. And oh, I had this piece of lace that I pulled out from one of the collections that I had, just to kind of fill that gap between that top area and that bottom picture. And here I cut a little stamped edge open picture frame, and so I put one half of it on this side of the layout, and then I will use the other half on the other side of the page. And so here I'm working on that little cluster at the top, and that little tag, it said keep calm, and it said something else underneath it that didn't really apply to my layout, but I felt that the keep calm did, since that is, I know it's hard to see, but it's a picture of my daughter when we checked into the hospital, and so that would be her last pregnancy picture with Cody on the inside. And then the bottom pictures are shortly after he was born. So I just felt the keep calm was appropriate, so I tucked everything else underneath the picture. Here I'm working on the bottom title, and it says together, and then I used a round circle ephemera that said together forever, and I just tucked the other together underneath the scripty together, and just made the circle part of the title there. So I also added some of the laser cut buttons in 3 locations on my page as well, to give that visual triangle. And so here I am getting ready to, you can see the full circle behind the title, but then you will only see the forever on the final part of the layout. So it'll say together forever. And then let's see, so now I do decide to go back up. As you can see, I just kind of jump around with whatever part of the layout jumps out me to work on next. So I add this little rub-on word that I had that says this love, and now I'm thinking, and so now I'm gonna go back and work on and finish up the title area. So for some reason I did add my tape runner. I'm adding my liquid glue and getting that popped up, and I did place it to make sure that I covered up whatever was on that ephemera piece I think it had a color on there that didn't exactly go with the bluish tones on this layout. And before I start putting down the letter stickers for World, I did want to put a few things underneath. So I had this little banner that has kind of looks like a safety pin on it. And here I can't remember where I wanted that to go, so that's where my clear sticker paper comes in handy, so I can audition the height of where I wanted that to go, and then I don't have to worry about pulling that back up once I realize that it may or may not have been in the right place. So here I do decide to gently place the title down first, and then now that I'm okay with the spacing, that I do go back to and kind of prime up with my tweezers and add my liquid glue, because I have had those letter stickers in my stash for quite a while. And when I did add the ink, I didn't really, I kind of brushed it on lightly so it looked more marbled between the two colors that I did use, which again was Uncharted Mariner and Iced Spruce. And I thought that was a good mixture between the blues and the greens that fall within the collections that I had used on this layout. And I get that last letter put down there, and I'm going to put some final touches on here. I'm going to add this banner, and I don't know if you do this, but I use every bit of my adhesive, foam adhesive, so between the dots, that I cut those areas apart as well and use that on my layouts, so not to waste anything that comes into my scrapbook room if I can help it. So, and getting this final piece put down, and that is, oh, I've got one more button to get put on here, and I decide that finishes up the visual triangle for those 3 buttons. So one on the top right, one on the bottom left, and this third one down by in the middle at the bottom. And let's see. Oh, and here is where I had like a half of a border strip from the branding strips, and so I just cut it into small pieces, and I actually was able to get a little bit of that border strip all the way around my layout. And so ultimately you actually can't even see the original square matting that I started with, except little tiny bits in a few places around the layout. But that's okay. That's kind of how things work out. And just doing some final adhesive, and that is pretty much going to finish up this layout. Oh, I did have one little random butterfly, and so I didn't want to put it back in my stash, so I did actually put it down as a butterfly on my layout. So that is going to wrap up this layout for today. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up, and I would love it if you would subscribe, and you're going to see some close-up pictures of the layout coming up here. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Thanks for watching.